Welcome to The Explainer. So, if you're in sales, you definitely know that feeling, the income roller coaster, right? Well, today we're diving into Kendra Lee's amazing blueprint for getting off that ride for good and, finally taking control of your own success.
Okay, but before we jump in, if you're getting value out of these guides, do me a quick favor and hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps and you won't miss out on what's coming next.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to tackle the big problem, that crazy, unpredictable sales cycle. Then we'll walk through, step by step, how to build a system for a super predictable and successful career. We're talking everything from the math to the mindset.
Okay, let's get right into it. First things first, we've got to talk about that beast that almost every single person in sales has dealt with. The feast or famine cycle. One month you're on top of the world, the next, not so much. It makes it feel like your income is just completely out of your hands.
I mean, does this sound familiar to you? You have an amazing month, you're killing it, and then the next month is a total dud. It starts to feel like your success is just a matter of luck, not skill, right? And that leaves you constantly stressed, just wondering if you're going to hit your numbers.
So the book introduces us to a salesperson named Flo, and her story is probably going to sound familiar. She's putting in the hours, doing all the work, but she just feels stuck. Meanwhile, she's watching her colleagues soar past her, and she can't figure out why. You know that exact feeling? That's the classic trigger for a huge shift in strategy.
And this really boils down to a fundamental choice every salesperson has to make. Are you going to be the reactive seller, the one who just kind of waits for marketing to hand over leads and then totally panics when the pipeline is empty? Or are you going to be the proactive architect, the one who builds their own client base and actually controls their own income stream?
So how do you actually become that architect? Well, it all starts by getting personal. It's about building your own unique formula for success. And listen, this isn't about the company's goals, this is about your goals.
Okay, this is a really crucial point. Forget about the quota your manager gave you. Seriously, that's their number. Your real quota, that's the sales target based on the personal income you actually want to earn. Just that simple little mindset shift, it changes absolutely everything. Now, to make that goal a reality, you've got to know your numbers. No way around it. And there are 3 key metrics that are like the pillars of your whole formula. First, your hourly rate. What's your time really worth? Second, your closing ratio. What percentage of qualified ops do you actually win? And third, your average sale. What's a typical deal look like for you? Knowing these inside and out is a total game changer.
And here's the magic. Once you have those 3 numbers, you can literally reverse engineer your success. You can figure out, for instance, that you need exactly 20 qualified opportunities every single month to hit your personal income goal. All of a sudden, success isn't some big mystery anymore. It's just math.
Okay, so we've got the math down. Now let's see how that translates into a visual tool that you can use every day. With that target number in your head, it is time to build and manage your pipeline. And we're going to do that using the good old sales funnel.
But wait, here's another huge mindset shift that is so important. Most of us in sales think about our sales process, right? The architect, they think about the customer's buying process. You have to learn to see the entire journey from their perspective.
So let's quickly walk through that journey from their point of view. Right at the very top of the funnel, your potential customers are in a state of, well, unawareness. They don't know who you are, and honestly, they might not even know they have a problem yet.
Then, something happens. A little light bulb goes on. They become aware that, hey, they have a problem or a need. Now, your job at this stage isn't to hard sell them. Nope. It's to educate them, to become a helpful resource while they start to look around for answers.
And from that awareness, they move into the interest stage. Now they're actively researching solutions. They're on Google, they're asking around, they're starting to really compare different options.
That research then builds into desire. This is the stage where they're seriously evaluating vendors, pitting you against your competitors. And your job here is all about handling objections, proving your value, and really building that trust.
And then, of course, the final stage. They make a purchase. The deal is won. But here's the thing. For a true sales architect, this is not the end of the line. It's actually the beginning of a long-term customer relationship that's going to drive a ton of future business.
Okay, so having a full, well-managed funnel is great, but let's be real. It's totally useless if it's filled with the wrong people. And that brings us to maybe the most strategic part of this whole thing, targeting.
The old way of doing this was what the book calls the yellow pages method.
You just start at A and call everyone, hoping something sticks. It's just smiling and dialing. The architect's way? It's the complete opposite. It is all about surgically segmenting your territory to focus only on those specific, high-potential target markets.
And that means you have to get absolutely crystal clear on what a best fit opportunity looks like for you versus what is just a complete waste of your time. You need to define the perfect industry, the perfect company size, like 10 to 40 salespeople, all those key details. It's that level of clarity that lets you focus all your energy where it's going to have the biggest impact.
All right, let's pull all these pieces together now. Because when you combine that personal success formula, that customer-focused funnel, and that razor-sharp targeting, that's when you make the final transformation.
And this quote from Kendra Lee really gets to the heart of it all. Without a good plan and strict execution, you have only a faint hope of achieving your ultimate goals. See, success in sales isn't luck. It's not about being a natural. It's about having a plan, a good plan, and then having the discipline to execute it, day in and day out. And when you do this, you completely change your relationship with your job. You're no longer just a passenger on that sales roller coaster, holding on for dear life. No way. You are the architect of your own success. You're building a stable, predictable career, and you are totally in control.
So, to make all this real for you, I want to leave you with a question. What is the one metric you're going to start tracking this week? Maybe it's your closing ratio, maybe it's your average sales size, whatever it is, just pick one. Because that's the very first step to actually building your own blueprint for success.
Hey, if this blueprint was helpful for you, do me a favor and give this explainer a like. And make sure you're subscribed for more guides just like this one. Thanks so much for watching.